and in Burbank, and I was a week from dying, and it was going to be a sad story. And I saw that those four still loved me. My girlfriend Linda, my wife now, Danger, JR, and Biagio. They were going to wait. They stayed to the end. Everyone else gave up. Sadly gave up. Sadly gave up. I mean, they prayed. They still loved me, but they hoped somehow I was going to make it. And but love saved me, because if I didn't see the love in their eyes, then that made me want to quit. You know, because someone still loved me. But if no one, and I think this is a tough job, is that when you keep trying to get straight, and you're not making it, and people, you feel you're letting everyone down, and they're starting to give up on you. You know, and if everybody gave it, and no one really gives up on you, they're always hoping. But when you're caught in that trap, you just think everyone's left you. And what saved me was them. But the minute you take them away, if they weren't there, then I wouldn't have made it. Because if you can't feel that there's just one person left, just one person that believes in me, that I still have a chance, that still loves me, then you can't fight. You can't fight to come back. You need to be loved. And I think that's what we need to do for all the kids and everyone caught in the trap, is show them love, show them belief, because they got the power to come back. And when they do come back, they're the greatest story around. That's better than just making it through life and everywhere you go you get ice cream and cake and it's dandy and it's just terrific. What's great is that everyone bottoms out, everyone gets knocked down. But when you come back, you are looked up to in more ways than you can ever be looked up to, and to having that perfect life, that nothing ever went wrong. It's adversity. That's where you can, because when I made it back, oh my gosh, I mean, I was like Muhammad Ali, knocked out and came back and won the championship again, just to make it back in life. Let alone to be fortunate enough to make it back in this business. Just to make it back in life made me feel like a champ again. Then everybody I saw looked at me in more awe than they ever looked at me when I was a champ before the drugs hit, because I took a beating and they respected me for coming back. And that's what's great about helping everybody, all the kids out there, all you kids out there that are caught in these traps, that when you come back, we love you twice as much as we ever could have loved you, because we're so proud that you were able to come back from that terrible addiction that's almost impossible to come back from. And I just believe all you need is someone to believe in you and someone that loves you. If you have that, you'll fight for them. And you're really fighting for yourself, but you're fighting for them too, because you want to do it for them. And in my whole life, even when I was straight, I always did it for them. South Plainfield, my town. When I went on Johnny Carson, he asked me some silly question. I didn't even answer it. I just talked about South Plainfield, New Jersey, my mom and dad. I always try to set goals to make everyone proud of my accomplishments. Not to do it for yourself, but do it for others. Do it because it makes them proud. If you can't do it for yourself, fight for someone that loves you. You know, when my mom saw me 3 months before I made it back, she came to the hospital, had a broken jaw. I got into a scuffle, and I was 140 pounds. I'm normally 160, 170. My mom, I didn't know till years later when I came back. I didn't know till years later that 3 months before I made it back, my mom came out here from New Jersey, visited me in the hospital, stayed for a while, and I woke up one morning and I checked myself out, and Linda said, "Your mom was here, but she left." I didn't know till years later, I saw my mom. She was so proud. I mean, that her son made it back to life, and that things were going to be great again. She told me that when she kissed me goodbye when I was sleeping in the hospital, she told me 2 years later that when she kissed me, she knew the next time she was going to see me, she would be kissing me in a coffin. She knew I was gone, and she knew there was no way her son was going to make it back this time, because it was too deep. And that's why you can do it, because I was gone. It was too deep. My mom knew I was going to be dead within 3 months.
Is that from the drug you're talking about?
Drugs. And here we are. Another great miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still alive.
If you had to look back right now from obviously those situations that you've gone through, what would you have changed? Or would you say, hey, I had to learn from that to get me where I'm at today, to change me? Would you have done anything different based on where you're at today?
Look, the only thing I can say is I wish the only thing different was that I could never hurt everyone that I've hurt from this addiction, because I've hurt them all. It broke their heart to see their friend, their son, their husband, their neighbor that had so much to offer, suddenly destroy all that. And so that's the one thing I wish I didn't hurt everybody. I carry that pain. I'd more than have come back and have fixed that with them. I mean, they're so proud. It's all great. It really is. But still, I hurt a lot of people, and that hurts me. As for hurting myself, I guess we can take the beating, but when you hurt others along that tough ride, that's a tough one to carry with you. But the lesson I learned,
I can relate.
it's part of life. We're going to go through some kind of adversity. A marriage that goes wrong, or a girlfriend that leaves you, or financial difficulties, drug or alcohol addictions, physical problems. We're going to have to, but when we come back from those adversities, it makes us better, it makes us stronger, it makes you more loving, makes you see what really counts in the world. Everyone goes around, we all, when everything's going great, we find little things to moan about. Oh, I'm moaning because I'm missing $50 out of my residual, or, the stunt I could have flipped the car one more time and only flipped 7. I mean, it's silly things we pick on each other for. It's just pick on ourselves for. And the only time we ever wake up is when you're someone that you care for or love, or is in fatal thing is happening and they're about to pass away, or maybe you're about to pass away, and suddenly you realize how important life is, and all the people are, and the four-legged animals, and how unimportant all those silly things are, the bills, the walls, the cars. And you make all these promises and swears that, oh my gosh, forget that, I just, please, save my loved one. And it's true, it comes from your heart. You pray to God and you pray to Jesus, and suddenly they're saved, and you're crying, you're so happy, and you're hugging them, and then 20 minutes later, or the next day you wake up, you're worried about the car and the payment, and it isn't until adversity hits you realize what really, really counts, and that's loved ones and lives, not houses and properties and bills.
And it's a daily practice, right? I mean, in order to exercise that, it seems like you have to practice that every single day.
You have to believe every day. Every day I try to say none of this silly stuff counts. The only thing that counts is you and others, not the guy I look at in the morning when I shave or whatever, when I look in the mirror. He's not important. I don't want to see him. I want to see someone, listen to them, and talk to them, and make them smile. I want to do that today, because that will fill my heart. You can't fill your own heart with your own conceit or your own great achievements. You need to take whatever you have. We're all here to help others, and care for others. And I went through some tough times, but it made me a better person, made me realize how important everyone else is, and that the world's not about me, it's about everyone else.
Well, I remember meeting you back at Paramount, which was over a decade ago. Here's this guy. I remember I was looking for a stunt coordinator, and here he comes riding on his bike, bandanas around his leg, long hair, and I said, no, this can't be the stunt coordinator. And it was. I have to say, and here we are in 2010, I've never met a stunt coordinator like you, and I mean in a very positive way, in every way. I think you've really defined the odds, coming from Jersey, summer of 1974, right?
Yeah.
And here we are in 2010. I have to say you're probably one of the most successful stunt coordinators in Hollywood today and yesterday. From all the Star Treks, greatest American Hero, and here we are to probably one of the top shows in the nation, which is Castle, going into his 3rd year, working with some amazing people you are. I mean, you still is he still pumped up after all these years, being now on a successful show? I mean, what keeps you motivated?